Their option is another 3 years option.
Today you have the opportunity to purchase a standalone medical centre adjoining the area's largest private hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome today to 331 Princess Highway in Noble Park. My name is Ryan Trickey. On behalf of Ray White Commercial and our vendors, welcome to a sunny Thursday afternoon here in Melbourne. Throughout the campaign you may have met Dillon Chambers or Will Jonas, who are both here to assist you with any questions or concerns you have with the information that has been on display for some time before the start of today's auction. I'll run you through the particulars of sale, the auction rules, a little bit more about the property. Now, to be clear, we do have some bidders on the phone today from interstate, ladies and gentlemen. We do have identification and verified that along with a holding deposit. So they are real people, they are not empty phone calls at the other end of the line. The agent, Ray White Commercial, Glen Waverley, was selling the property on behalf of our vendors. The Commonwealth Bank of Australia is a mortgagee in possession, exercising its power of sale under the registered mortgage, apparently, of AW 412153P for Peter. The landowner's volume 08698, folio 963, but known to you, me and the postman as 331 Princess Highway, Noble Park. All fittings and fixtures of a permanent nature come with the property. We're calling for a balance of the 10% deposit at the fall of the contract and the rest of the money in 60 or 90 days unless otherwise agreed with us prior to today. GST, ladies and gentlemen, the property will be sold as a going concern. There is an active lease in place. Today's auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional provisions made available before the start of today's auction. The rules prohibit late bids, major disruptions by bidders or bidders preventing others from bidding. I'll nominate any bidder upon request. The rules permit vendor bids, but only from me as the auctioneer. If I choose to make a bid on behalf of the vendor, the words I will use will be vendor bid. The vendors do have a reserve price for today's auction, and in an unlikely event, ladies and gentlemen, we don't reach that reserve price, we will pass the property into the highest undisputed bid. So what does that mean? For those out of Victoria, if you hold the highest bid and the property isn't on the market, we pass the property into you, you come inside for a conversation at the vendor's reserve price, and we seek to do business today. If you're not holding the highest bid, you don't get that opportunity. To be clear, we're not running this process for the sake of it. We have got clear instructions to sell. There's no uncertainty around this one. And as I say, if you are here to bid, you want to hold that highest bid if we're not quite yet on the market. And as I say, you come inside for the exclusive right to negotiate directly with us. So where are we, ladies and gentlemen? You've got the best of both worlds. We're sitting right next to the Aurora Healthback Private Hospital here, Southeastern Private Hospital. We've got 203 beds in this facility next door. It sits under the Aurora group of, the Aurora Healthcare Group, I beg your pardon. That healthcare portfolio comprised of 16 private hospitals and over 1,500 beds around the country. That's obviously not what we're selling, but you sit here at the doorstep to that facility, which is obviously something that's not going anywhere, which breathes life into these types of things. Not only that, the location, you're on a main road, you're sitting next to major arterials, you're on the ingress and outgress of some of the major shopping and entertainment precincts in Melbourne's east. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this piece of real estate. We've got 173, I beg your pardon, square metres of allied health space, good for the existing operator. Could it be chiro? Could it be psychology? Could it be physiotherapy? It could be anything under the allied health banner. We've got obviously car parking on site, immediate ingress to the hospital car park for obviously common sense approach there. You're on 612 square metres of general residential land, so a good sized piece of real estate. It's not strata titled. You're not sitting under a building with big owners corporation and all the costs and issues that come with multiple dwellings or multiple spaces upstairs, underground car park, car stackers and all those sort of things. A lot to like about it. The building, not new, but certainly the bones are really good. Nothing short that some paint, carpet and a tune-up wouldn't make this facility a very attractive space to work from. And in the future, perhaps you go and stick something a little bit more significant up here, and then you own what it will be a wonderful piece of real estate on a main road, next to a private hospital, in between two of the biggest activity centres in Melbourne's east. It's ticking a lot of boxes. Being on the service lane too gives you some opportunity where you're not sitting right on Princess Highway where you're going to have traffic management issues and those sort of things. We're talking about future here. It's not just today. The property will stand the test of time. We've got a current passing rent of just under $75,000, $74,220 per annum, with the usual outgoings being collected by the tenant. Something that we've picked up during the campaign is the tenant is an LTX charity, and that suggests that no land tax is payable while they are in occupation of the property. It's referred to under the statement, the State Revenue Office land tax certificate contained within the vendor's statement. The current operator, trading well, committed to the facility as far as we can see. So as it sits, the status quo should remain, ladies and gentlemen. There is an option coming up next year, which is the purchaser's opportunity to get in there and work with the existing operator, the existing tenant, to find the terms that best suit their investment strategy. So ladies and gentlemen, I've told you about the land, I've told you about the building, I've told you about the future potential. You know there's a bit going on in the background here. We're not kicking the tyres for no reason. We are here to sell today. I'm going to call for an opening bid. What have I bid? For 331 Princess Highway, Noble Park, ladies and gentlemen. Start me where you like. Calling for an opening bid. $1 million? I call for an opening bid and I'll take it at $1 million, and we're away now. Best of luck today, sir. At $1 million even, straight on the nose. I'm going to move in $50,000 bids from here. At $1 million, calling for 50 on top, and away we go. Bids here at $1 million, 50 in the rise. At $1 million, bids here at 50. At $1 million, can I see anyone 50 anywhere at all? $1 million bids here at 50. Bids at 50 into $1 million. Looking for $1 million and 50 to keep us moving. At $1 million, calling for 50. Vendor bid for me at $1 million and 50. I'll keep it moving. We're not going to stall up at this level. At $1 million and 50, bids here against you too sharp. At 1.1. At 1.1 against you, sir, and a vendor bid for me there. At 1,100,000 is a bid against you at $1 million. At 1,100,000, still in 50 here. At $1.1 million the bid.
25.
Still in 50s for now, but I appreciate it. At 1.1, calling for 50s. I'll see you there for 50. At 1,150,000, thank you, sir. At 1,150, we're bid. At 150, over $1 million's the bid now, still in 50s if you like. At 1.2, good bid, too sharp. At 1.2 bids here, still 50s now. At 1,200,000's the bid. At 1,200,000, bid straight in front. At $1.2 million. Still 50 in the rise. the opportunity, I'm sure, at 1,200,000 the bid, 50 on top from here. At 1,200,000. Struggle to find a better precinct, better property, better opportunity in Melbourne today. At 1,200,000 the bid, 50 on top. First call at 1,200,000. Second call at 1 million. At 1,250, welcome to the bidding, sir. Best of luck today at 250 over a million's against you, two showing against you in front here. At 250 over a million's a bid at 1,250,000 on my left. At 1,250,000's the bid at 250 here against you, two shah. At 1,250, 50 on the rise, can I say three? At 1,250. At 250, calling 50 on top, back of the opportunity two. At 250. It's here at 250. 1,250,000. At 250 is the bid, 50 in the rise.
Would you take a bit falling for it?
Give me 50 in the next one I might play around with. At 250. Can I say three? At 1.3.
1.3.
We're going to get there. At 1,300,000 the bid. At 1,300,000 on 50 was a smart bid on top to keep it moving if you're there. At 1,300,000 on my right hand side, the bid's here at 1.3 and away. At $1.3 million is the bid, 50 on top for your good money. At 1,300,000 is the bid. Bids at 1.3 against you, sir, and be quiet down the left-hand side. At 1.3. At 1,300,000 is the bid. Still in 50s. First call at 1,300,000 on the nose. Second call at 350. Good money here. At 350 over a million's the bid. At 1,350,000 and away we go. Probably quick now, two shah. Show them you're keen. At 1,350,000 is the bid to my left hand side at 350 here. At 1,350,000 I'll take you 25 now if it keeps them happy. At 1,350,000 can I say 75? At 350 here. Bids here at 1,350,000 at 1.35. At 1,350,000, 25 there, two shah if you like it. I'll come give you that opportunity now.
1,375.
At 375, bid there at 375, can I say 4? At 4, 1.4. He wants it, mate. Don't mess around now. 1.4 straight back at you. Let him know he's serious. At 1,400,000's a bid, still quiet down here in front. At 1,400,000. At 1,400,000. First call at 1,400,000. Second call at 1,400,000.
Would you take 10?
Not just yet. I'm in 20s, 25 at the moment, mate. Second call at 1.4.
1.42.
Around 20.
20.
I'll give him 20. At 4.2 bids against you now at 20 over. At 1,420,000, can I say 440? At 1,420,000. At 420 at the moment, they hold the highest bid and they'll be coming inside for a conversation with us. At 1,420,000. Dillon, can you go and seek some instructions for me, please? At 1,420,000 is the bid here. Quick sticks, DC. At 1,420,000. Same opportunity, 20 over. At 1,420,000, say 440. At 440 against you two, Shah. You're in 20s. You want to play 20s, and we'll keep playing. At 440. At 1,440,000, and it's against you. At 1,440,000 on my left. At 450. I'll give him 10. At 450. We're breaking me down now. At 1,450,000 with 10s. Smart bid at 460. Hey. We're on the market at 460. At 1,460,000, and we are selling today, ladies and gentlemen. At 1,460,000 bids on my left-hand side. There are no late bids, and that's a contract being signed today. At 1,460,000, moving at 1070 opportunity. At 1,460,000. 460 is the bid. At 1,460,000. Bids here, holding firm.
470.
At 70. 70 here, say 80, move quickly or just bang it home at 5. At 1,480,000. Bids here. Bids down, 10 on top. We're on the market, we're selling, there's no late bids. 10's not going to buy your landscaping somewhere else deep in the suburbs. First call. at 1,480,000. Bids here 480. At 1,480,000 is against you, Tushar. At 1,480,000 is buying the real estate today. At 1.48, need to move quickly from here. At 1,480,000 is the bid. At 480. 10 on top, say 90. 20 to 5 is probably the number though, Tushar. Show me serious. At 1,480,000. At 480 we're bid. Let's call. At 1,480,000. Even money. Second call.
Full X play.
At 5, why not? We're on the market now at 485. We're moving in small ones. I don't want to go hard now. Now's the time to show them your muscle. At 485, we're here. At 1,485,000, 490. At 490, back at you for 595 if you like, Tushar. At 490. Bids here at 490. At 1.5, bidding against himself, but I'll take it. At 1,500,000, final bid here, Tushar. That's your goalpost. If you're going to get past it, you buy it. If you don't, he's buying it. At 1,500,000's a bid. Let's call. At 1.5. Second call. At 1.5.
Sorry, 1.5.
1,500,000. He just knocked you on the head. He said, I don't want to play anymore. At 1.5.
Over
Third
5K.
and final call.
5K on top.
At 5 million over. 1,505. At 5,000 over 500. At 1,500,000. At 505,000. At 1,505,000. Goes a long way in little fives, mate. At 1,505,000, holding the contract now. At 505. I take no pleasure in asking for a little bit more, but at 505, whack a 20 on top and then be done with it properly. At 1,505,000. Can I say 5 1/4? At 1,505,000. 550 is probably at 525's the bid. There you go. At 525, good bid. At 525, over $1 million, we're here. At 1,525,000, Tushar, I'm giving you plenty of opportunities. At 1,525,000. Let's call. At $1,525,000. Frantically calculating. Second call. At 1,525,000. Might be the bid. Third call. At 1,525,000. He's been with me for some time now. Permission to sell, Tushar, at 525, over $1 million. Permission to sell. Done. Finished. No further bets. We're all quiet. Third and final time. All finished there, sir. All quiet down the left-hand side of the drive. At $1,525,000. At the drop of the contract, there are no late bids, ladies and gentlemen. It's going. It's going. So, at 1.525.